everyone, it's Suzi here, and today we're playing A Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we are on to the Tower of Deception. I'm going to showcase Hidden Chamber 5 and Hidden Chamber 6. Tower of Deception, Hidden Chamber 5. We do have a couple of interesting hindrances here, and this is something to keep in mind. No mages if you want to get all of the stars, but you can take a look at the recommendations here. It does seem to be a great place to use piercers, so we're going to do that and let Idril be Idril, and we're not going to use Beatrix and my lovely mages this time around. So I'm going to check all of those and move on. But do keep in mind, you really don't need all three checkboxes. You can get away with just one and still get the first two main rewards. You just miss out on the forging material, but you'll still get the summons at least. All right, heading on in here, I'm going to do my best to talk over this one. So Sun Wukong, this was a very hard one with this, honestly. So Sun Wukong I put there. I put Erlong Shen in second. He was able to absorb some of this. A good tank or a tanky fighter is good for this spot here. I did have to put Elowen down right away, or else my hero getting hit was dying, Erlong Shen in that case. I did need someone who was pretty strong there. You could see Sun Wukong to take out the other enemies coming down. And then we placed more DPS. So I went in and placed Idril so she could start taking out that annoying tank that was taking everyone else out. And then, of course, her ultimate will come and she'll hit all over the board. Then we're going to have... oh, Silas, I messed up. That is not what I meant to do with Silas. That was an oops. I have to despawn him and waste my costs, so ignore that part. But we'll use him later. But Hatsa up in this top spot was amazing. So if you could keep her alive, this is a really great spot for her, because she just sits there and burst damages the main point, the main choke point where everyone comes around. You're gonna see here the value of, okay, Idril already died from the other enemies, which is okay. We'll bring her back eventually. And I brought in Tallulah. But that amazing burst damage from Hatsa at the top was super helpful. And then here we go, we can actually bring in a Silas. So Silas facing this way was great because as that tank moved in, we were able to attack it. Or anyone coming out of those portals, he was able to start taking out early on. Up at the top there, again, Hatsa starting to burst damage was super helpful. I was having trouble figuring out where to put Idril to be the most beneficial. I think I placed her here, but I'm not sure if she lasted long. Let's see. So, no, she only got a couple hits in. So that was a waste of where I placed Idril, but we still end up succeeding here. So my Idril placement was meh. I should have maybe waited. So up here, I placed Araka just to start taking out those enemies with the timers on them and help with the other choke point of the enemies coming downward. She definitely helped, but she did die very quickly. They are very tough. But Sun Wukong with his burst single target damage really helped in that spot, and I was surprised how well he was able to stay alive. So this one got a little tricky here. I actually failed with this originally, with this last dude just taking out my tank and not being able to deal with him. So he was tough. And I think one of the ones where I almost won but barely failed, Erlong Shen died and I had no one ready to get in his place. So having that backup Toreador was ready to go if the tank did get taken out. But you could see here, I actually was able to have just the shooter annoying catapult device, whatever it is, left at the very end. Yeah, so that was my team. Piercer and Nightmare focused for that one, so I was able to hit all of the requirements. And I brought in Yuri. She didn't end up doing much. I brought in, you know, it was a little bit messy for sure. I definitely had some oopses in placement, but a strong single target like Silas and some mix of AoE people like Hatsa and the fighter or tank like Erlong Shen was a huge value. Alright, now on to Hidden Chamber 6. You got a bit of tough hindrances here, so this will be one certainly to debate if you want to avoid worrying about the 2 extra. Let's say you don't want Grotesque Fiend getting even more annoying than he already is. Maybe you just do a cost regen reduction here. If you have people they're not really strongly relying on your ultimates, that could be the one you choose. Or if you don't care about using Arbiters, maybe you use this one instead. But let's see about all 3. I'll decide later. So they do recommend Hatsa, Sun Wukong, Eloin. So this is an interesting setup here. We can see people beating it with Piercer, Nightmare, Arbiter, Nightmare, Mixture here with No Lord, which is an interesting choice, but shows how powerful Valara and Neja might just be. Same Piercer, Nightmare, Cultist, Piercer, etc. So interesting combinations, but this one is a tough boss fight. There are gonna be some strong ones here. Infernal Clerics are super annoying. We know how those Grotesque Fiends are. And this guy was tough in the last one that we did as well. So up to you guys which ones you want to select or not. Alright, this is the core team. I'm gonna go in with a pretty strong one, obviously. And we're not trying to sugarcoat it. These chambers and everything are getting difficult. Onward and upward, Hidden Chamber 6. Alright, going on in here, I'm gonna hit the 2 times. Let's speed this bad boy up. We are gonna put Sun Wukong in first. He's gonna be great help here in this spot. Great damage, and he can certainly help. He's gonna have good range here too to put some people in a couple other spots as the enemies come along. We're also going to make sure he stays alive, so let's go ahead and place him here, or her here. So we can cover someone in this spot too. We're going to need to bring in another healer on the other side though, where things are going to get a little bit risky. Alright, so instead of putting in the healer right now though, I am going to start with Silas. Ooh, that was not a smart one though. Okay, I'm going to put the auto on so we can get 1 hit. There we go. Now we got some bigger ultimate hits from him. And we're going to put another tank or a fighter here to block the other part of the path. So we got both paths ready to go. He actually is getting... Oof, didn't have time to take him out. That was bad. So this guy up top, not smart to put someone there unless you're ready to heal them well. Lesson learned. Lots of people are going to start coming, so I'm going to throw a Yuri over here. She's going to start helping deal with these guys. I'm also going to get in a good healer, because we're going to need to cover more bases as the other people start coming along. Now, what I did forget was Idril. This is the first time I'm not using Idril or Beatrix at all, I think. Neither one of them. That was an oops, honestly. So, okay. You know what? This is a huge debate, too. We could let her start attacking up there. Let's see if she can actually hit them and do some good damage. She can. Okay, this is a good spot because she can deal with these people coming from the top, and then her ultimate is also going to catch the people coming around. Same thing here. Let's make sure we're well protected. I think, yep, Silas is covered. Everyone's well covered. Oof. Except for that. That's not good. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oof. Okay, that got a little close. But it's okay. We'll bring in a Torador to have another tank ready to... stop everybody. Alright, I'm actually going to put him sideways in case Sun Wukong needs some backup. But we only have a few people left to kill. But they are hard-hitting, and this is going to get interesting. So let's make sure Silas stays alive. Thank you, Eloin. Yuri did not. That's okay. We're going to throw in some other DPS as soon as we can. Even if they die quickly, it's still going to help. Ultimates are ready to go. Oh boy, things are getting scary. Sun Wukong took out somebody, but this is risky. Very risky. Look at that. How risky is this? Oh my goodness. Okay, Noah. He does not want to die. He does not want to die. Boom, boom, boom. Look at those guys. They're very tough to kill at the very end, but we did it. So this was with no Idril or no Beatrix, no pew-pewing all over the board, as I like to call it. Sun Wukong and Hatsa. Yuri did pretty solid, though, until she died at the end. Silas was also a great help. Oop, let me scroll down for the sake of support. You can see Tallulah and Elowen holding their own very well. And that is a 3-star, getting all the rewards for Hidden Chamber 6.